Congress shuts down local coin shops. This is shocking. The fight for local coin shops to remain open has come to a close. This issue started in Main Street and has wrapped its hands around the neck of our silver stacking community. I'm going to break this down and show your local coin shop, like every brick and mortar, are in the crossfire of Congress's failure. This is from Reuters, and the headline reads, "Small Business Bankruptcy Rules Get Tighter After U.S. Law Expiration." The article starts by saying a popular program that expanded eligibility for small business bankruptcies in the U.S. expired on Friday, limiting small and mid-sized businesses' ability to access a more streamlined and less costly alternative to a traditional Chapter 11 filing. The article says Congress passed the Small Business Reorganization Act in 2019, adding Subchapter 5, that's the important part, Subchapter 5 to the U.S. Bankruptcy Code as a way for small businesses to shed debts without losing ownership of their companies and without some of the procedural oversight mechanisms that can add costs and delay in a typical Chapter 11 case. This was like a quicker way for them to file. Filing for bankruptcy is necessary for the success of every business owner, especially local coin shops. Without the ability to file for bankruptcy, business startups decline. Entrepreneurs don't feel confident to take risks. Bankruptcy in itself is the net that tells entrepreneurs you could take this risk because if your business fails, the debt you accumulate will not fall entirely on your shoulders. If you're enjoying this video, please hit like, please hit subscribe. It really helps to get this information out there. Now, check this out. The article says Subchapter 5 quickly became a popular tool for distressed small businesses, but Congress's failure to renew a part of the law closes the door to businesses with between 2.7 million and 7.5 million in debt. Those are the smaller businesses. Subchapter 5 cases are cheaper and faster than typical bankruptcies, allowing small companies to avoid paying for a court-appointed creditors committee, paying quarterly fees to the U.S. Department of Justice's bankruptcy watchdog, and soliciting creditor votes on a bankruptcy restructuring plan. The article says Subchapter 5 was initially open to businesses that had up to 2.7 million in debt, but the Coronavirus Aid Relief and Economic Security Act that was passed in 2020 to provide emergency assistance to people and businesses that were affected by the COVID pandemic, it temporarily raised the debt threshold to 7.5 million. The higher debt limit expired Friday. This is what this article says. It expired Friday, causing the law to revert back to the previous 2.7 million. A bipartisan bill was introduced to keep the 7.5 million limit in place for 2 more years, but it was blocked from swiftly advancing by unanimous consent in the Senate. Blocked. Now, this article says Subchapter 5 accounted for about, watch this, 30% of all Chapter 11 bankruptcies filed in the U.S. between 2020 and 2023. 30%. More than 1/4 of those small business debtors would not have qualified for Subchapter 5 under the lower 2.7 million debt threshold. This is an attack on the little guy, and our local coin shop is just that little guy. By raising the limit for bankruptcies, the local coin shop is not just left behind and forgotten, it is literally crushed. And this tells any young entrepreneurs that may be considering opening a local bullion company, it tells them risks are not rewarded. Now, the article says small business bankruptcies have continued to rise as the debt limit expiration loomed. The number of Subchapter 5 filings in May 2024, was 53% higher than the number of filings in May 2023. That's year on year. The article says bankruptcy experts have said they think that Congress will eventually bring back the 7.5 million threshold, which has support from both parties, but businesses on the cusp of eligibility could find themselves in trouble if Congress's inability to pass legislation during an election year causes a long-term reversion to the lower debt limit. Many of us need to drive a full hour to find a local coin shop. And those with a shop in our town, we all have the same experience. These shops are barely getting by on small margins from selling precious metals. And to see Congress turn against the mom and pop, turn against the brick and mortar is absolutely shocking.